Lambros Lazopoulos was on track for a career in medicine until he made his first $100 online while lying in a hospital bed about to go into surgery. That was the moment that changed everything. Fast forward to today, Lambros is a course creation consultant who's helped over 80,000 students and guided more than 360 clients in launching profitable online courses without ads, without followers, and without past experience. In this episode, you'll hear how Lambros walked away from the traditional career path to build a digital business on his own terms. He's going to share what really works when launching courses, how he helps creators start from zero, and why love, faith, and purpose are the real keys in building something that lasts. So if you're sitting on knowledge that you know could help others, this is your sign to finally turn it into something powerful.
So I thought to myself, what guide or what framework can I create that my younger self, like 5 years ago, would absolutely love? And this is exactly why I launched this program of mine that takes people that are passionate about something, but have absolutely no clue on marketing, absolutely no clue on how to run ads, $0 to invest in ads, and no followers, which is an insane value proposition to think about it. And I help them turn their knowledge and what they love and passion into an online course that enrolls people on automobile.
Welcome to The Creator's Adventure, where we interview creators from around the world hearing their stories about growing a business. Hey everyone, I'm Brian McAnulty, the founder of Heights Platform. Let's get into it. Hey Lambros, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you very much for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here.
Sure. So, what is the biggest thing that you did or you are doing that has helped you to achieve the freedom to do what you enjoy?
Yeah, so that's actually an interesting question. I guess it really taps in the fact that um, I'm pretty aligned with my intuition, if it makes sense. I mean, I know how to trust my gut. I know how to, I guess, trust my intuition.
Hmm.
And I've also daily journaled like the past 900 consecutive days. So I know like
Wow.
exactly like where I want to go and how I can get there. So it all comes down into like putting the work to actually achieve the goals that I want to. But I guess a big part of like the reason that I am where I am today is without like stating that I've achieved like ultimate success and stuff, but like the fact that I actually have the have the ability to do what I love, which is something priceless to me. I think it all comes down into taking action on a daily basis, having hope and faith and love about what I do, like on a daily basis. And yeah, it's like, I guess when a ship embarks on a journey and you can't really see the destination, but you have a feeling that you're heading towards the right direction, I guess that's what fuels my whole journey.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great to hear. And yeah, I think that's one of the amazing things about being a creator and entrepreneur is just being able to do what you love and being able to realize that even if you're starting out and you haven't quite got to that point that you want to yet, that like you're doing what you love. So it doesn't matter even. So
Yeah, to be completely honest with you, I think that a lot of the so-called success that I found today with what I do stems from spending a huge amount of time and energy doing something with no returns whatsoever. Because I've been doing this for years, like without having any returns, without expecting also any returns. So there's definitely a lagging indicator of success in our niche and our field. And I mean, currently I'm enjoying the fruits of my labor that was inputted in this whole business of mine and this whole ecosystem that I've built like a year ago or 2 years ago. So there's definitely a lagging indicator. So even if someone like is currently working and isn't seeing results, this doesn't mean that he won't see results in the future.
yeah, yeah, it's definitely important to stick with it, and because I think number one, it's hard for humans to see the like kind of curved exponential growth that you can have. And so it may not be working this month or even this year, but that doesn't mean if you can continue at it that you won't achieve something beyond your dreams even. And also that I think it's important to do the thing that you enjoy, not only because you like it and you have fun doing it, but if you don't and you say, oh, I just want to find what's that get rich quick strategy, then you're also competing against somebody who might be involved in one of those things, but that is what they enjoy and that is what they love. And so they're going to beat you because, like you said, they're working at it and they don't care if they make money right away or whatever. They just love to work on it. So ideally, you want to find that for yourself. So I'm curious. You started your professional career in medicine. What would you say is like the precise turning point of when you decided that teaching online was the path you want to follow?
Yeah. To be completely honest with you, I found great interest in medicine. I still love medicine, and it was like genuinely an awesome experience for me. Like the 6 years in which I studied medicine and I graduated from medical school, they were awesome. Without me knowing it, as I was in medical school, I was in parallel building, I guess, my e-learning business, which again started as a 100% like a hobby of mine, right? I loved cameras. I loved teaching. I found out that I love teaching um, after I've discovered my passion for content and cameras. And completely accidentally, I just, uh, let's say I brought some videos together. I created my first course, which kind of sucked. It wasn't a good course. And I pretty much found a creative outlet in course creation and content creation and teaching online from like the everyday stress that I had in med school. By the way, I also studied in a city which like nothing crazy really happened. So you had lots of time to just, I guess, time for with yourself. So I'm a creative dude by nature. I'm a creative kind of person. So if you leave me alone in a room, I will probably create something. And I found an awesome creative outlet with content, right? And cameras. I fell in love with cameras, started teaching online, and the more stressed I was with med school, like the more content I created. It was funny because like if you see like the courses that I've produced and all the videos that we produced with my team, they always spike during exam period, which is like very funny.
Hmm.
Yeah, so there was, I guess, a point in which after I graduated medical school, I I did some, I guess I had a talk with myself and I realized that it would be a huge shame to um, leave, I guess, content and just, it's not that I didn't like med school. Like I wouldn't have a problem focusing on doing medicine and becoming a doctor. It's just that it would be a shame to not have this not not to give this content thing a try and not to give this online business thing a try because this was really like who I was. I mean, I guess I tapped in my creative, let's say, spirit as I was in med school, but now I had the chance to go all in. And of course, this came up. This this was associated with risks, and I had to take like full accountability of my actions. And yeah, I took the leap of faith, and it was one of the best decisions that I've ever taken. I mean, it's not that I miss medicine. I definitely miss medicine. I miss the friends that I made there, and I miss like the awesome experience that I had. That being said, like having the having the ability to do exactly like what I love, I think it's something priceless. And money aside, it's something that I wouldn't trade.
Yeah. So tell us about the day that you made your first $100 online.
Yeah, so it's actually a very funny story. I think it was 2020. It was 2020. I had uploaded my first course on Skillshare, right? Not my first course. It was my third course or something. Because like my two first courses were so bad. They made like $10 each, but they were so bad. And it was the third course. I just uploaded it, and it was getting some traction. Okay, obviously, like compared to the numbers that we're doing now, it's nothing. But back in the day, it was something, right? So it was about the end of the month. I was super like not stressed, but we were producing more courses. I was talking like to some people that I would potentially hire for editors, and then I something happened and I had to rush to the hospital. And I had actually acute appendicitis, which is kind of a, I guess, a normal condition to have, but it requires immediate surgery. So as I was brought in the operating room, all I could think of, because on Skillshare you can refresh your stats every single day, and that day I was at $90 or something. So I really thought that the next day I would make like $10 more and I would reach my first $100. $100 a month, my first $100 a month. So as I was being rushed to the operating room, the only thing I was thinking of was like, did I reach $100? Because like, it was also the end of the month, right? So they were operating on me, and the next day I wake up, was so confused. I was like, where am I? Where am I? I'm in the hospital, and the first thing that I do is that I open my computer and check the stats, and actually has surpassed $100. And yeah, I have a video too. It's crazy. It was a very surreal experience because like I mean, yeah, it didn't sound like something insane. $100 isn't something crazy, but for me, it was literally the craziest thing. The fact that I literally made $100 from thin air by doing what I love. I couldn't believe it, but yeah, it was true, and I guess the rest is history from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think some of the stories of how everyone made their first dollar or $100 online is um, meaningful to each of us, I guess. And it definitely feels different for making that money from a course or information product versus services and things like that. Because I remember for me, like at the time, like when I started making my first couple dollars with digital products, like the couple weeks before that, like I signed a 5-figure web design contract with a company, but I was more excited by like the couple dollars coming into my account from these digital products. And so yeah, like that's what had me hooked and made me realize that not only can I scale my income better this way, but I can also scale my impact and like really just be doing the things that I enjoy. So
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and yeah, I mean, to be completely honest with you, this happened way before any conversations about scaling or like
yeah,
launching full business or outsourcing stuff, hiring people came. It was just the fact, the realization that it's possible. And whenever I hit actually a milestone, either if it's a financial milestone or an impact milestone, it's always the fact that just a new level unlocks. You think that, okay, it's possible. So if this is possible, what else is possible? And that's just a never ending thing. And it also, um, we can make a huge, small point here, which is very important, I think, after again daily journaling for the past 900 days. I figured out that one of the most important things is to be grateful. Like when you get to do what I guess we do, um,
yeah,
which is what we love, it's very important to be grateful to where we are today. Because like you can get trapped in that cycle of wanting more and more and more. Uh, it's not bad to like have desires, but at the end of the day, you really need to understand how far you've come and to be grateful for what you have.
yeah, yeah. I completely agree. I think kind of in this space, there's a lot of creators that dream of the idea of like passive income, but they also may kind of underestimate that initial effort that is involved. What would you say is the biggest misconception that you see about launching a successful online course?
So yeah, definitely I wouldn't say that there isn't a thing, such thing as passive income. Passive income exists as a concept, and but it comes down into you putting the active effort to set up the systems that will give you the passive income. Um, of course, those systems break and those systems require maintenance, but there are levels in how easy or how hard it will be for you to generate income online. It all comes down to the systems that you have to put it into place. I guess one of the biggest misconceptions that I see um, when people like want to embark in this journey to monetize their knowledge and create a course is that they think that the course creation process, like actually shooting the videos, is going to be the hardest thing. It really isn't. Depending on the path that you will take with this course creation process of yours and where you're going to be hosting your course, and we can talk about this in a second. Um, this is not true. Like the course creation, the creative process itself, it's the most fulfilling part, and it's usually also the easiest part because it's what you love and it's not how to do what you love. Let's say that you want to create courses on how to create a fountain pen. You love talking about fountain pens, so it shouldn't be a problem for you to like talk 3 hours about how to create a fountain pen and show people how to create a fountain pen. The hardest part is to actually understand the other systems that you need to put in place to sell this fountain pen course of yours and to have people enrolling in this fountain pen course of yours, which really comes down to the pathway that you want to choose. Should you host on your website, or should you host your course in an online course marketplace, list your course in a marketplace?
Yeah. So you've helped over 360 people launch courses and without ads or massive followings. What is your like go-to launch strategy for somebody who's starting from scratch?
Yeah. When I was brainstorming and developing our framework on launching a course with zero ads and zero followers needed, the only person that I was thinking about was my younger self. Because I genuinely believe that in order to create successful products, the target avatar you should be targeting, like the ideal persona that you should be targeting, is your younger self. So I thought to myself, okay, cool. What guide or what framework can I create that my younger self, like 5 years ago, would absolutely love? And this is exactly why I launched this program of mine that takes people that are passionate about something but have absolutely no clue on marketing, absolutely no clue on how to run ads, $0 to invest in ads, and no followers, which is an insane value proposition if you think about it. And I help them turn their knowledge and what they love and passion into an online course that enrolls people on automotive. And I did this because, listen, I've scaled courses both ways. Like I've scaled courses in online course marketplaces. We've accumulated more than 80,000 students across like whole platforms. We're now translating our courses in like 3 different languages. And I've also scaled the course that I've hosted myself, right? And I can tell you one thing. The process of scaling course in online course marketplaces, it's just so much fun. Like creating a course to be listed in online course marketplaces is just, in my opinion, and I know that you guys are biased because you have a platform that helps people host their courses. The process of creating, launching, and scaling a course in marketplaces from the creator's perspective is just more fun because it's like 90% of the work is creating the course, which is something that you love and what like made you want to create a course in the first place to teach what you love, right? And like 10% is uploading the course and applying some very basic marketing principles to just help your course scale in these marketplaces. If you compare it to hosting your course on a website, I feel like it's like 5% creating the course, and then you have all of these other headaches, which is creating a landing page that converts, growing an email list, marketing, right? Marketing pathway that you will choose, um, hosting fees and stuff, right? And not to say that these problems can't be solved. It's just that people that want to teach online don't want to have these problems in the first place. All they want to do is teach online. And online course marketplaces gives you this opportunity, just like it gave me this opportunity, right? Because when I was starting out, and yeah, I managed to enroll my first 100 students in these marketplaces without having a clue what a funnel is, without having a clue what a landing page was, just by recording mediocre videos with my camera. So these marketplaces gave me the chance to share what I love online, and I'm really grateful for that, and I wanted to share it to more people.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. And for myself, one of the first digital products I ever sold was like web design templates and like these like button designs and things like that for the web. And I did sell those through marketplaces. And I do think that is such a great way to start out because, like you said, you can just create something and not really know anything about the marketing side or the business side and just put it out there. And it's a lot faster potentially to get your first sale when you can just put it out and see what happens. Um, but yeah, I mean, and I am, of course, kind of biased, but eventually going through all that led me to building Heights platform and making a platform where we're not a marketplace. We don't take any transaction fees or anything like that. Um, but because I had the desire to be able to have something under my own brand where I could feel the security of not being like at the mercy of the marketplace. If the marketplace has fees that change, or if the marketplace suddenly changes the algorithm or something, doesn't promote my product anymore. And so I think it's powerful to have a business on the marketplace where you have this immediate leverage of a potential audience. And it also is something where if you enjoy that style of building, yeah, you can just like try out these different things and then kind of get customers. But for me, I guess I like to think in like the very long term. And I think there's also like a path to do both of these things. I don't think you have to like say like, wait, do I have to pick? Because for me, like I really enjoy what I do and I want to not make a business that's like gets me rich this year, but like make a business that I just keep doing forever. Like Heights platform, for example, like I don't plan on selling it ever. I have people approach me and say, we want to invest, we want to acquire this. And I just say, nope, not interested. Now I just ignore them actually. I don't even respond. But I think in order to do that and like build the security for your brand outside of the algorithms and things of these platforms, is you want to be able to have something under your own brand as well. And so I like the idea that I've seen some people I talked with before, because at first I thought like, well, if you can build it under your own brand, if you're willing to do that, why use the marketplace at all? Because they're gonna just take all these massive fees from you and all that kind of thing. But somebody mentioned that even though they are doing both currently, they will keep doing the marketplace as well, because for them, the marketplace is like acting like a way to get leads for their brand itself. And at first I thought like, oh wait, well you can't really do that though, right? Because isn't like Udemy and Skillshare, they don't want you to promote outside of that. But I learned that like you can add like you're allowed to add like a bonus lesson or something at the end, right? Where you can then direct people to your own website or somewhere else. And so in that sense, it acts as a way to be another funnel for leads and customers to your brand, where you can build a customer base, you can build an email list, whatever, and you're actually able to maybe get paid for it instead of paying and investing money in ads and things like this.
Absolutely, 100%. 100%. There are multiple ways to scale in online course marketplaces. Like you can scale, let's say, horizontally, but you can also scale vertically. I mean, you can scale horizontally by enrolling more students, optimizing your courses and your landing pages there to attract more students. It really comes down to some systems that you can literally put into place to bring more students. But you can also grow vertically, meaning cross enroll students from one course to another, create a high ticket program and funnel people from these marketplaces to this high ticket product. And the thing with marketplaces, and one of the coolest things with marketplaces, is that you build authority. It's an awesome way to build authority, right? Because
Mm.
if you educate someone on a concept, you suddenly become the perceived, let's say, expert in this concept. Not to say that you're not an expert by teaching this concept, but to their eyes, you are the ultimate guy, the ultimate like expert on this field. And it's one thing for someone to view you, for example, on a short form content video on TikTok on our YouTube or a long form video on YouTube, but it's a completely different type of engagement when someone has paid for your course and has viewed you for like six
Yep.
hours. These people, like the commitment is just on another level. It's easy to sell to these people. And when I say sell, I mean not to, let's say, take advantage of them, but rather they understand the value that you're providing and they're willing to invest more if you know what you're doing with your courses, which is a very powerful thing. Actually, one of the latest offers that
Yeah.
we're launching in my business is that we're partnering up with SaaS companies, right? Companies that sell software as a service, and we're approaching them to potentially integrate their software in some of our courses and sell through education, right? So, and we've seen awesome results with that because students want to learn. We teach them while using software from other companies, and it's a win-win-win, right? Because students love the software, companies have more people like purchasing the software, and the value of education is higher. So I really think that there are multiple ways to scale in these online course marketplaces, both like vertically and horizontally.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree. I think that's a really excellent point about the authority and brand that you can build through these marketplaces. Because like, yeah, you can make a TikTok or a YouTube short and say, "Hey, I'm an expert about teaching this thing," and somebody will watch that and say, "Yeah, okay, maybe you are, whatever." But if they see you on a marketplace and you're like, "Wow, like 100,000 reviews," and they see this and then they go and purchase it, and even if it's only like $10, like you're right, like in their eyes, like you are the definitive expert about that thing. And now if they want to go deeper and learn more, or if they want to recommend to somebody else to learn about this thing, you're going to be the first person they're going to think of.
Exactly. Exactly. It's just a different type of engagement. And the fact that you can like earn this just by creating the content is insane. You don't need to know how to market. You don't need to be an expert marketer. If you want to become an expert marketer and if you want to like unlock this new level of understanding what a funnel is, understanding how to market, the four ways to bring people into your course, I mean, it's cool. I love this. That's why I'm an expert at this and I help people like with this. But someone who wants to teach people how to play the guitar because he's a good guitarist doesn't need to be an expert marketer, right? So the fact that online course marketplaces give you this ability to just, I guess, sell your knowledge, right? And make money from your passions without needing to do anything else, it's really special.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great point. And I think what you brought up there with like the idea of the win-win-win with partnering with other software companies and things like that, there's there's so many ways that you can do that as a creator as well, where you can tap into to ideas like this and partnerships that you can use that to grow your business even if you aren't doing like this other external marketing yourself. And so a couple more ideas for that we've seen is one, just using a partner in some way to launch your course, even. So wherever that be. So in your case, you're doing the opposite. Like you are already the authority. You have the audience through the marketplace, and then you're helping software companies. But as a creator, you could potentially find a business or a brand or a person who has your audience and then partner with them and then give them a split or something of the course and then do it that way, even if you don't have your own email list or funnels or any of that yet. And that's something like it works different for everybody because everybody has a different niche, right? So like if you're involved in like I've seen people with like more business to business courses or like courses around all kinds of things where like you yourself, when you think about the kind of content that you want to sell, it may be different for you than somebody else. But that's one way. The other things are like figuring out, I think, the kind of content that you enjoy creating and what you enjoy doing. And so, like, I think your example of realizing, hey, this is what I like to do. So this is the way I can do it without having to worry about learning the kind of things I don't enjoy. And one of the other things we've done recently, kind of in that same sense with Heights Platform, is we now have these public community post pages where we realized that in your community, you're answering questions of your students and your members, and it's like, okay, well, probably you have some support where you're providing that already. You may even enjoy like helping all those members out, but it's kind of a shame because then nobody else gets to see that or gets to like benefit from that if they're not a customer yet. And you could say, oh, well, a good strategy is maybe you take that and find a way to turn it into a blog post or a YouTube video. It's like, okay, yeah, but that's a lot of work. And like I have to answer the customers now. And so we made these public community post pages where the individual post in your community will turn into a landing page that gets indexed by Google and ChatGPT. So you get to work on just helping your own audience and growing your own community and interacting with your like tight group of people that you like. And that can potentially grow your business because somebody might search that same question and then they find that post and now all of a sudden they're signing up and you're capturing them. So like that's just a couple ideas, but like I think there's so many more possibilities between all kinds of things like this of ways that you could grow your business.
100%, 100%, 100%. And this is actually like the community feature is something that's currently lacking from online course marketplaces. I've seen after testing it in other courses of mine that we've launched that students really like to engage with one another and they also really appreciate the live goals feature. That's why whenever I consult someone like on a one-on-one basis on how to launch a course and which courses tend to sell now, I always suggest them to add community features in the courses because at the end of the day, when students interact with one another, they share the same problems and different students are at different levels, obviously, depending on how much like which percentage of the course they have consumed. So it's actually one thing for a student to be, let's say, informed by you, which you're an expert, you're an industry leader, but you have the same problem that the student has probably 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And it's another thing to have one student teaching the other student. They both have the problems very fresh in their mind. They just overcame them. So it's like very it's just another level of education, and it's very cool.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree. And sometimes the other student may have even like approached the solution differently in a way that like this one student can relate to better. And now all of a sudden they're helping each other. So just a huge like value add from that. I'm curious. So going back to you mentioned that you've been journaling like over 900 days, I think you said. So how do you integrate kind of like the your own philosophy into your daily work as a course creator and coach?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I always like to report on progress, right? Obviously, in order to report on progress, you need to have a goal towards towards which you progress, right? So ever since I set this goal, I have been daily reporting my progress, and the layout of my journal is very simple. It's divided into three sections. Like every single day, I have a section of gratitude in which I just express gratitude towards the things that I'm grateful of, which are a lot. Then I have a section in which I outline the focus goals and the daily tasks that I have to tackle. And finally, some night thoughts. So right before I go to bed, I just mention what I'm thinking, like how the day went, what are the goals for the next day. And my night thoughts, could be very serious to like very chill, just reporting what happened in the day. Very serious meaning, visualizing stuff, and it it's just a reminder to take action on a daily basis. I think it's extremely important to just take action on a daily basis. Um, and it's also an awesome way to just rewind time when you're going through like the previous pages of your journal and seeing like exactly what you were thinking. You know, um, one of the things that I'm actually most grateful about is the fact that up until this point of my journey, which is still in the beginning, I've I've got to experience the full colors of like let's say excitement from this. For example, the same amount of happiness and dopamine, let's say, that I'm getting now by I guess closing bigger deals and enrolling tens of thousands of students, the exact same amount of happiness I used to get just by again achieving my first $100 month or enrolling like my first 10 students. It's the exact same amount of happiness. So I'm very grateful for the fact that I've literally got to experience the whole series of let's say step one, step two, step three, step four, step five, until the step that I am today. It's not that I started with 10,000 students or 20,000 students or whatever. I literally started from zero and now I'm at, let's say, whatever level I have. Yeah, so that's something that you
Yeah.
really get to see through journaling every single day. You get to see the progress.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's interesting. It's making me think that I do think for some people they kind of get stuck in not taking that like daily action. And I do believe that's really important. And I wonder that like journaling can almost be a tool to help you like record and remember, of course, like what that thing was. But I wonder if sometimes it's like almost necessary for some people to do that in order to allow them to like, okay, did it here, like remember about it and then be able to move on and like take that action quicker. Like even if it's like subconscious, like you don't feel that you need to do it, but by doing that, that's allowing you to continue to move on and take these actions faster because you've got something that like you've archived and recorded that you are able to look back at it versus somebody who like doesn't do that at all and maybe they just kind of have to move slower to like process it for themselves of what they're doing.
Yeah, um, absolutely. Like seeing the progress that you made through the years, it just makes you want to keep building on it. And again, like before I was daily journaling, I used to like record videos of me just talking for let's say half an hour, 40 minutes, once every month or something. Um, but then I thought to myself, I don't know, like I just want to like switch the medium from video to something like more, let's say, manual, which is writing. I'm also a huge fan of writing. But yeah, I really agree with what you said that taking action is like the most important thing, and it is the most important thing at the end of the day. Like you can brainstorm as much as you want, you can think as much as you want, but at the end of the day, if you don't take action and be productive, nothing will happen. And when I say be productive, I I'm not like referring to productivity. Um, to the modern standards of productivity, which would be, for example, to, I guess, I don't know, go to the gym or something. Be productive like means produce. And in my case, it couldn't be more straightforward. Produce means create, create means record. So it's like at the end of the day, me taking action is me producing. And that's one of the biggest things that I've realized through daily journaling, taking action, the most important thing.
Yeah, that's great. So for somebody who is listening or watching right now and feels maybe like either stuck in like a traditional career path, or maybe they've got the skill or message they want to share, but they're kind of just starting out, what would you say is the first like tiny step they should take today?
So can you repeat the question?
If somebody's like watching or listening and they're just starting out, and maybe they're either stuck in a traditional career path, they want to move into something like course creation, or they've got this skill or message they already know that they want to share, what's the first like tiny step that they should take?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, think of your younger self. Think of like a transformative experience that you've underwent, and you probably um, moved a time in which you moved from point A to point B, like kind of by yourself, right? And if you manage to, if you had a problem, and we're humans, like we're flawed, we all have problems. We've all been through transformative experiences. If you had a problem, which you managed to overcome, and I'm not even talking about like serious problems, like crazy serious problems. A problem would be, for example, bad handwriting, right? And I moved from bad handwriting to good handwriting. Or a problem would be I
I've
was.
got that one.
So you have bad handwriting? You got bad
Yeah,
hand.
I need a handwriting course. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many handwriting courses, but yeah, you get the point. So, like, if you've ever moved from point A to point B, right? You there are like billions of, not okay, not billions, but like hundreds of millions of people that have the exact same problem as you, and they don't know how to solve it, right? There's a huge gap in the info market. Everyone wants information. Everyone's starving for information, and guess what? Like more problems arise every single day, right? To help people out. Like there are three core niches, like health, wealth, relationships, right? And there are multiple sub niches here. So find a transformative experience of yours, identify your niche. Is it on health? It was the health problem, was it a wealth problem, or a relationships problem, right? And then keep sub niching. So let's say, for example, that um, you lost weight through carnivore diet. You're in the health niche, right? You sub niched into weight loss, and then you sub niched into diet for weight loss, and then you sub niched into carnivore diet for weight loss. So keep sub niching until there is no competition. Like keep sub niching until you become the industry leader. And once you become the industry leader, then you need to create your first info product, which is the best info product to create is a course, right? Straightforward. You don't need developers. The only thing you need is a camera and the ability to communicate with the world. um, Create your course, shoot your videos. Um, I can get into more information here, like more details. The difference between a course and a YouTube video is pretty much that in courses we sell transformation, right? YouTube videos sell information. That's it, right? That's literally it. For example, the exact same information on a YouTube video, which would be, for example, let's say that someone is looking to become a video editor. He wants to learn how to edit videos. A YouTube video would be titled how to edit videos in Final Cut Pro. But an online course with the exact same content would be titled How to Become a Video Editor. And that's why courses sell and YouTube videos are for free. People will pay to become someone, right? They want to be transformed into something. They want to move from point A to point B. They just don't want just to be informed. They want to be transformed. And that's
Yep.
what we're tapping in course marketing right now, but you get the point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nobody wakes up and says, "I want to learn Final Cut Pro." They wake up and they say, "I want to become a video editor because I enjoy it and I can make a living from it."
Yeah.
And that's where the value is. So that's what you want to sell. All right, so Lambros, it's great talking with you. I've got one more question for you, and that is that on the show, I'd like to have every guest ask a question to the audience. So if you could ask our audience anything, whether something you're curious about or kind of just want to get people thinking about, what would that be?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I can't give a personalized question here. I like to give like personalized questions, but I can't give a personalized question because I don't know like who I'm referring to. So I guess it would be good for the audience to ask themselves, um, why. If you keep asking why, if you ask why like more than 5 or 6 times, it will lead to you understanding like some very, uh, I guess, deep desires of yours, and some core things that are important to you, and it will just change your perspective and the way that you navigate through the world. So if you ask again 5 or 6 times the question why, you will, yeah, you will just reveal some stuff about you that you probably didn't know at those points. So just ask why whenever you're taking action. Just ask why. That's I don't know if it's too theoretical or stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's, I mean, it's great for me. I love to do that as well. And I think it's great to do that not only for being able to learn about yourself, but also being able to learn about what is actually a reality versus just a belief that you have. And so if you're wondering like, well, why can't I do this? Why can't I become a successful course creator? And just keep going into that and realizing that maybe there is no reason why you can't. And then now suddenly you have the ability to go out there and do what you want.
Exactly, exactly. I really believe this. I really believe this. That you gotta face your limiting beliefs and you gotta like cross them out one by one, and just by asking why. The first thing is identifying your limiting beliefs and identifying what and disables you from taking action, and then just that's your first task. Your first task is to eradicate this limiting belief in order to take action.
Yep. All right, Lambros, thanks so much for coming on the show. Before we get going, where else can people find you online?
Sure. So you can add me on LinkedIn. It's Lambros Lazopoulos is my surname. You can check out my website, Lambs Course Creation. That's LAMZ coursecreation.com. And you can also check out my YouTube, which is Lambs, so LAMZ.
All right, awesome. Thanks so much.
Awesome. It's been a pleasure, Brian. Great. See ya.